We're going to be mixing our palette today. So let's open up our palette carefully. And we're just gonna put the lid off to the side. I'm right-handed, so I have my supplies on my right. I have a paper towel, my paintbrush, my water cup, all to my right. Now I kind of labeled my placemat or my blotter just to show you. This empty spot stays empty. That's where your thumb is gonna go when you're holding it outside. Okay, and then we're gonna make 6 different values or, different tones that we can make, okay? So in our first spot, our number 1 spot, which is next to the white, we're going to make 6 scoops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now when I say scoop, as much paint as you can get into that spot, okay, is 1 scoop. So for spot 2, let's do 4 scoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. For spot 3, we'll do 2 scoops. 1, 2, and then we'll just do 1 little scoop in spot 4. Okay, so that's my white. I'm going to clean off my paintbrush now that I'm done using white, and I'm ready for my cobalt. So in the first spot, this should be your lightest value. So I'm going to take a really small amount of cobalt. And remember, I'm using the second one, the one that's not next to the black, okay? Because this one, remember, has black under it. Okay, I'm going to just take a little bit, that much, and I'm going to swirl it around. And this should be a very, very pale tint of my cobalt blue. Tints are colors mixed with white. Okay, I can add more white if I think that's not light enough, but I think that's okay. Now in my next spot 2, I want it to be a tiny little bit darker than my first tint. I think that's actually not dark enough, so I'm going to get a little bit more blue and add it into there. Yeah, it should look different from the first color. If it looks the same, then you need a little bit more of your pure hue color. The pure hue, by the way, that's the word for when a color has nothing mixed with it. It's the pure hue of cobalt blue. Okay, so I'm going to take a scoop. Maybe let's take 2 scoops for this one and see what that does. This is like half white and half cobalt blue. Yeah, that's looking darker than number 2. Number 3 should be darker, definitely. Okay. Now for number 4, let's do 4 scoops of the cobalt. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mix it up. Ooh, I like this color. I like this value of cobalt. It's a nice tint. Okay, now in the 5 spot, we're going to start gradually mixing in just a little bit of black to create some shades. So we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 scoops of cobalt. If at this point you need a refill, I can refill your pure hue, give you a little extra, because I know mine is already starting to run low. And I'm just going to take, watch how small, just 1 little dab of black. Okay, mix that in there, and I'm going to get a nice shade. I told you a little bit of black paint goes a long way. So that's a nice shade of blue. Okay, now my last one, actually I didn't even need to clean my brush because I'm still using the same 2 colors. Number 6, this is the spot where I put the black underneath your hue. So that's going to be a really nice dark shade of your color. Mine is cobalt, whatever your color may be. I always think it looks nicer on canvas instead of using the plain black to mix a tiny bit of a color into it. So look at what nice values you have now. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 different values to paint with. You never want to paint with your pure hue. You always want to have a little bit of something mixed in with it. And sometimes if you want to add accents at the end, you can use pure white, but it's better to have a little bit of color mixed with it. Now, what do you do with this middle spot? That's where you can mix your background color. So I know my background color is going to be on the light side. So I'm going to mix extra background color for myself. And I want to have a couple different values for my background. So I'm just going to put some of the really pale blue, and then maybe I'll try to go even paler over here. That looks good. So this is going to be what I'm using for my background. Whatever you know you need for your background, that's what you mix in the center. Okay? Happy painting today, everyone.